Hello, everyone. It's Dr. Manjari Nadkarni, Ayurvedic MD, registered holistic nutritionist, back today for another interesting topic. We have our Wellness Wednesday today, and today we're going to talk about thyroid health. We're going to talk about Thyroid 101. So, what exactly is thyroid gland? Why are thyroid hormones important? And they're way more important than you could, think about. So that's our discussion going to be today. So if you are watching this live, please say a quick hi. If you have any questions, please let me know if you have any questions. And thank you for watching. So let's get started. So let's first talk about thyroid gland, or why it's important. Hello, Darshana. Thank you for watching this live. So let's talk first about thyroid gland, what exactly it is. So it's a small butterfly shaped, gland that's situated in the lower neck. And it is really important because it secretes the hormones, right? T3 and T4. And these hormones, we talk about thyroid hormones, but they are important for your entire body. We are not just talking about thyroid hormones, which when it comes to weight loss, everybody knows that, okay, your thyroid isn't functioning well, you are going to gain weight. But a lot more things happening in your body, like not just the weight, but also like cholesterol issues. If your thyroid isn't functioning well, your LDL, or the bad levels of cholesterol, can actually shoot up, and that's going to be detrimental to your body. So this can happen as well. Depression is another common sign. If your thyroid is not functioning well, you are going to be non-motivated, you are going to feel depressed, you're going to have a lot of mood issues as well, and you're going to be extremely tired. Right, so those are a few things we are going to discuss today. So hello, Usha ji. So again, if you are watching this live, say a quick hi. If you are watching this as a replay, you can put this as a hashtag replay at any point of time. If you have any questions for me, I'll be more than happy to answer. I'm gonna see some people quickly live. I know Ashwini is live here. Hello, Jayesh is live as well, so thank you for watching. Mishi Ferreira is live as well. Thank you for watching. Usha ji, thank you so much. So let's get started. So, what exactly, is thyroid, and why is it extremely important? One of the reasons why your thyroid gland is important is because, it is going to secrete as well as store those hormones, right? And that those hormones are going to impact your entire body, right? So that is why it's this important. And the second thing is, thyroid conditions are way more common than you realize. So having not optimally functioning, right, I'm saying about the optimal function of your thyroid gland. I'm not talking about the diagnosed hypothyroid or the diagnosed hyperthyroid as well, because then 100% they are out of balance, right? But sometimes there's a gap between an optimally functioning thyroid gland and any disorders that you have been diagnosed with. So there's this area where it's not functioning well, but the numbers are not too low, right? If you look at the TSH, or maybe they're not too high, right? So that is the gap when your thyroid isn't functioning 100%, and that is something to remember, and that is something to realize why it's important. And southwestern Ontario is also known as the Thyroid Belt or the Goiter Belt, where we don't have a lot of iodine in the soil itself. So you're not going to get this iodine, for the function of your thyroid gland. And this iodine or iodine is extremely important when it comes to your thyroid gland. So that is also something to remember, right? If you have been diagnosed with hypothyroid or any thyroid conditions, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to start a discussion on that as well. So thyroid, the hormone, your pituitary is going to produce thyroid stimulating hormone, which is then going to let your thyroid gland know that, okay, you have to secrete T3 and T4. So um, if your thyroid isn't producing the normal hormone, that's when thyroid disease occurs, right? So if you are not producing enough hormone, it's going to be hypothyroidism, where the symptoms are that your thyroid gland is not functioning well, right? Or functioning at a lower pace than it should. And hyperthyroidism is when your thyroid is functioning way beyond, it's like overactive, and it's functioning too much, right? So you're going to lose weight. It's called Graves' disease sometimes, which is autoimmune and condition. And you could have eyes which are bulging out. You could be like cold, clammy, and really lose weight at a very faster pace. Your metabolism shoots up and there's nothing much you can change, right? So these are some things where your thyroid isn't functioning well. And Hashimoto's or Graves' disease are also very common nowadays. So these are also autoimmune conditions. An autoimmune condition is where your body launches an attack against your body, right? So an example is in Hashimoto's, your body is going to destroy those cells which will be secreting the thyroid hormones, right? And that is why you become hypothyroid. So thyroid is extremely important for everyone's health. Thyroid is also important for fertility, which I'll be discussing, in a few minutes. So I'm looking, in case you're wondering why I'm looking here and here, I'm live on my Instagram as well at the same time. Hi Atulya, nice to see you. Hey Vrinda, nice to see you. Hi Swati, nice to see you. So let's talk about, so one of the main things, when it comes to thyroid disease, let's talk about some factors. If you have a family history of thyroid conditions, if you have, your mom or your sister or anyone has already been diagnosed with thyroid issues, please get it checked, right? That's one of the most important things. So getting it checked is really important. Getting those tests run is extremely important. And so that's one of the main, things. If you are older than even 60 years of age, when your body changes, especially in women also during menopause, right, you could end up developing symptoms of hypothyroid or your thyroid doesn't function. So that is also something that is important to get into. If you are someone who has had any kind of radiation treatment, which is also common with different kinds of cancers, so head, neck, or any chest region, if you've had any radiation, that is going to increase your risk for thyroid conditions. Iodine deficiency, right, is also going to increase the risk for thyroid conditions. Also pregnancy, like if you have been pregnant in the past, could be um, the pregnancy can put a lot of stress on the body and create different changes in your hormones as well. So you can check that out. Iodine deficiency is one of the most common factors we see in today's world, right? And we don't have enough seafood in our diet or seaweed in our diet, and iodine is not easily available. Iodized salt, which is the table salt, you would say that, oh, but my salt contains iodine, right? But it's not sometimes absorbed well. And we will be talking about iodine and other factors in another video. So I'm not going to discuss too much about it, but I can tell you that even if you're taking iodine, there are certain things that you could be doing which will make your iodine that you're not using it or absorbing it, right? So these are some factors that could be happening when your thyroid hormones are not functioning, or this increase the risk of your thyroid. And one of the other things to get checked is if you're trying to conceive for a long time and you haven't been able to conceive, right? That could be one of the reasons why your thyroid is not functioning well. That could be a hidden sign or a hidden symptom that, okay, there's something going on with your thyroid. For people who are worried about their cortisol or stress glands, if your thyroid function is out of balance, right, your um, cortisol is going to go out of balance. Hormones are always going to work together. They are always going to work synergistically, supporting each other. And thyroid is one thing that affects your entire body. So it is not something that's just going to affect a certain cell of your body or a certain kind, but it is a gland that absolutely affects each and every cell of the body, each and every organ as well, right? So your heart rate is again governed by the function of your thyroid as well, how well it's functioning or not. It can slow or speed up the heart rate. It can raise or lower your body temperature. So also to maintain a normal body temperature, you are going to require an optimally functioning thyroid gland. The influence of thyroid on the rate at which stomach moves through your digestive tract is also important. So when we talk about constipation as a form of hypothyroidism, this is one of the reasons, that you're not really being able to eliminate the feces, or you get constipated because thyroid is impacting your digestive tract as well, right? Thyroid also controls the way your muscles contract. It also controls the rate at which dying cells are replaced, right? It's also going to be important for your muscle maintenance, for the maintenance of bone mass. It's also going to impact your entire metabolism in the body, and that's why, excess thyroid hormone is going to speed up your metabolism. You will lose a lot of weight. Lowered thyroid hormone or non-functioning thyroid hormone is going to decrease this, calorie burn in your body or metabolism in your body, and that is how you are going to gain weight, right? So there are different factors that, this thyroid is going to impact for each and every person. um, Again, the risk lies with your family history, or if you have been experiencing certain symptoms. So I'm going to say a quick hi to Chitra. Brookhaven is here, Dr. Chintan is here, Jasmine is here as well. Any questions so far? I think I'm going a little bit fast. So any questions so far? Any other questions so far? No. Okay. So let's get started and let's talk about it. So one interesting thing that, I wanted to talk about today is, we're talking about poor functioning thyroid and how it impacts your entire body, right? But cholesterol is one thing that we talk about. Cholesterol is often implicated in any kind of heart conditions, and it is one of the parameters that people say for your heart health, right? Cholesterol is actually a marker for inflammation in your body. I look at it as more a marker for inflammation in the entire body than a cardiac marker. And the one thing that I have seen in a lot of my clients is, your body needs thyroid hormones to make cholesterol, and also to get rid of the cholesterol it doesn't need. So when we talk about cholesterol, cholesterol is not necessarily a bad thing. Your hormones are made from cholesterol, right? And people who go on really low cholesterol diets, or zero fat diets, that is going to be extremely detrimental to your body and also to your thyroid gland, right? And there is an interesting book by Dr. Miriam Teitelbaum, on Ayurveda and thyroid disorders, and she talks about requiring something from an animal, right? So even something simple like ghee can support, your thyroid health as well. So good fat, especially from an animal, is going to support your health. And I'm not trying to convert any of the vegans here, I'm just stating some facts based on the book, and I'll be sharing more of those in further videos as well. But the cholesterol, let's go back to it. So the LDL is, the bad cholesterol. The HDL, high density protein, is the high density lipoprotein, is the good cholesterol. So you want more HDL, which is protective to your heart. You want less LDL, lower density lipoprotein, which is going to be detrimental to your health, because that's the cholesterol that's deposited everywhere in your body, right? So to remove this excess cholesterol, you also need a good functioning thyroid hormone, right? And there is something called subclinical hypothyroidism, where, people have mildly low levels of thyroid hormones, right? Sometimes, they're not even detected with the TSH. You could have normal thyroid stimulating hormone levels, but it's within the normal ranges. It's slightly on the higher within the normal ranges, but it also shows that it's not functioning well. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you. Thanks, Swati. Thanks so much. Yeah. So cholesterol is one such thing, right? When we talk about your skin, when we talk about your hair, also, when we talk about different female hormones, when we talk about libido, when we talk about motivation, your thyroid is going to impact each and every aspect of your health. And that is why it is extremely, extremely important to have a good functioning thyroid. Now, what are some signs of your thyroid out of balance? I'll be discussing in depth in the next video, which is next week, February 10th at 1 o'clock. So the topic itself is your thyroid out of balance? And that's what I'll be discussing. But a few common things that you can see is extremely dry skin, extreme fatigue. If you've been having a lot of fatigue, if you've been having lack of motivation, if you have hair fall where your hair fall is diffuse all over and it's coming out in clumps, right? If you have any weird sensation here, or if you have trouble swallowing, that could also indicate something is going on with your thyroid gland. Or if there's an enlargement here, which we talk about as goiter, right? So that also is a sign that something's off with your thyroid. If you are constantly cold, if your hands and feet are really cold, right, your circulation is not well, your metabolism is slowing down, you're trying everything in your power and you're not losing weight, is one sign that the thyroid is off balance. And if you're trying everything in your power but not gaining any weight, right, because thyroid imbalance can be hypo or hyper, right? You could either have too many hormones or not enough hormones. So too many hormones, as I said, are going to speed up the metabolism, and everything that you do, you're not going to gain weight, you're going to lose muscle mass, right? You're going to be tired, fatigued, cranky, irritable, no motivation, you don't feel like doing anything, you almost feel depressed, you feel like just sitting in your couch or lying on your couch. And those are a few signs, of not having a optimal functioning thyroid. And thyroid is again extremely important throughout your life. Now children can have thyroid issues as well, so can adults, so can menopausal women, so can perimenopausal women, so can women trying to conceive and not being able to conceive, right? So for I've also had clients with multiple miscarriages where everything was fine, but the thyroid was off balance, right, which they found out later. So please, make sure you're really tuning into your symptoms and making sure that your thyroid is functioning well. And one of the simplest tools is to check your body temperature, right? So if your body temperature is normal, you are going to have a decent functioning thyroid. This is a very rough number, or a very rough test without having to go for blood tests, right? But blood tests are going to be, pointing to different directions into what exactly is going on. So T3, T4, TSH are three of the main ones. You can also get the reverse T3, reverse T4 done as well, which could be important, right? So this is my little talk on Thyroid 101, and I've tried to cover quite a few points, but please remember that thyroid disease is extremely common. So to sum up, everything I've said, it's an extremely common thing. Again, you could have a thyroid that's not functioning optimally, but you may not have been diagnosed with anything. Probably your TSH is normal, your T3, T4 are normal, but yet you have all these symptoms. You have constipation, you're tired, fatigued, your hair is breaking, falling out in clumps, right? So keep an eye on those symptoms, and having just one symptom might not be, meaning that your thyroid is off. But if you're having a group of symptoms, which could indicate the thyroid is not functioning well, right? And always when it comes to thyroid, get in touch with a practitioner, work with someone, try to make sure it's aligned, try to make sure what you're eating is also balancing your thyroid and not harming it. So those are some important tips for today. Sorry, I'm having a lot of messages everywhere. So I will be signing off from this now. So thank you so much. If you like this video, please share it. If you know somebody that needs to hear about their thyroid or learn about their thyroid, or if you're suspecting a family member has issues with their thyroid, please, let them know about this video and tag them. And thank you for watching. I'm signing off now. Hello, Raj. Nice to see you. Hi, Aditya. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Vrinda. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, thank you once again for watching this live. And I'll be back next week. And this entire month, for Wellness Wednesdays, I'm going to talk about thyroid. So that's all the discussion is going to be. For the Wellness Wednesdays. So next week, we're going to talk about, is thyroid out of balance? Feb 17th is interesting. I'm going to talk about thyroid disruptors versus thyroid supporters, right? So, foods, lifestyle things, chemicals that can disrupt your thyroid versus foods, nutrients that actually support your thyroid. That's February 17th. And Feb 24th, we're going to talk about natural strategies to rebalance your thyroid and heal your thyroid. So, this entire month, we're just talking about thyroid health. Thank you once again for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know and have a wonderful rest of the day. Happy Wednesday. Bye bye.